My friends, today's conversation is one with someone who is close to my heart. I've met her through a great friend of mine, and now she's a great friend of mine because I love the work that she does. I love her journey, but I've gotten to know her, and she is a woman who embodies grace, resilience, and quiet strength. She's a wife, mom of four, and the founder of an award-winning Bella Estetica spa in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. And because she saw a need for women over 40 to have skincare that truly understood them, and hey, I'm there, she created Pura Bella, a clean, gentle, and effective skincare, and it's a line that celebrates aging beautifully and not fighting it, which I think it's incredibly important, right? And what I love most about Cathi is her honesty. And she's not afraid to share her struggles with confidence and what it is to start all over again and how she learned to trust her instincts and to know her worth, my friends. And this is something that all of us really need to continue to always remind ourselves we have a great worth. So, this is not just a story about beauty today, it's about becoming confident in your own skin from the inside and out. So, welcome, Cathi, to the show.
Julie, that was an amazing introductory. I'm so honored to be here.
Well, I am thrilled to have you here, and I will be remiss if I didn't say this because I know the producer of the show will um, get to me, and I want to make sure that this is the best interview ever. So, like, make sure you lean forward when you talk because I heard you fine before, and you cut out for a couple seconds there. So, lean forward to your speaker. But you look beautiful, by the way. For those of you who are watching on
Thank
YouTube,
you.
you can see the glowing that she has. And she, like I mentioned, has built two successful brands. And I want to kind of deep dive into this first. Let's start with the beginning. What first drew you into the world of skincare? And by the way, Cathi is one of the girlfriends that I went on my girls' trip to Cape Cod with. So we may even
Much
get into
fun.
some of the funny things that would happen in Cape Cod.
That was so much fun.
It was,
Uh,
it was.
so I was always that little girl that loved applying products to my skin. I started working very young, babysitting and cleaning tables at an Italian restaurant. And I spent most of my money on skincare products
Mhm.
because I struggled with acne.
Mm,
Um, and it really affected my confidence. I was
yeah,
very self-conscious. I actually struggled with it on my chest and my back.
really.
So that really interfered with my
Mhm.
confidence. I felt
Yeah.
like I couldn't wear anything that showed my back or my
Mhm.
chest. And it was related to all the hormonal shifts that were going on at that
Yeah.
age as well.
Mhm.
And then I just felt like this may be something that I may want to pursue as I dove into what I could do with my passion for skincare.
Mhm.
And I came across aesthetics and I thought, let's give it a try.
I love that.
And yeah,
Um, I met someone, I was very young, and I'll never forget. It was one of my first jobs, and I was working at the front desk of this business. It's an insurance company, and I was helping somebody with I guess a policy or whatever. And I was asking the questions because we're going to go to the dinosaur days, where we didn't necessarily type it into the computer. We would write it in the form and then fax that over to the home office. So one of the questions, and I don't even know why we wouldn't give it to the person to fill out. We had to fill it out. But one of the questions was, what is your occupation? And she said, esthetician. And I'm like, what is that?
people
And
don't know, and they think I'm an anesthesiologist when I say that.
yeah, and
No, no.
no, not at all. And you know what? I was intrigued because I thought, really? Because I knew makeup artists, right? You go and get your makeup, but an esthetician, that sounded like someone I needed in my life. And from a very early age, she told me, she's like, you getting facials will help you keep your skin young. And I'm like, oh, okay. So from a very early age, I've been really committed to facials. And it's not for me like a vanity thing. It is not oh my God, I want to look so beautiful. I mean, everybody wants to look good, obviously, but it's been part of a routine that has helped me know that, okay, I got to take care of my skin. It's just like we take care of our hearts, we take care of our brains. That's part of who you are. This is your largest organ in your body.
Yeah.
So I feel that there's something really important about that. And of
Well,
course,
and
I
just
like to be
think of
pampered
that.
too.
Your face is what everybody sees.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is not something that you want to neglect.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely.
it helps
I
build your
think people
confidence,
need to do that.
feel good in your skin.
Yeah, and I love that because, and this is what I see a lot, Kathy. When I interview people for the show, they typically have gone through the thing, have learned the thing, and then now help people with the thing. And you're no different, right? You struggle with this, so you know acne, and you know that now because you educated yourself. You knew that it's not just, oh, it's part of puberty, but it's part of really, it requires a lot of different things. And yes, it's hormonal, right? But hormones don't go away after puberty. So
Right.
so good. So good that you do that. Now,
I still
was
break out and I'm
oh, I do
52.
too. I do too. I do too. Like the other night I was washing my face and it was right here. I usually get like that one pimple. And for those of you who aren't listening, it's right here on the base of my nose. And I
That's a
guess I'm not
common spot.
washing very well if I'm getting,
Get in those
clogs
creases.
in those creases. You got to get in there. Was there a moment you thought, oh no, what did I do? What am I doing? And how did you push through doubt? Because I know that I feel it, other people feel it, but we never talk enough about the doubt that we need to push through.
I've always enjoyed being an esthetician. I absolutely
Mhm,
loved my career. I loved the peacefulness of it,
mhm,
connecting with the clients. There's nothing better than helping someone feel good about themselves. So, I'm very fortunate that I chose a career that everyone leaves feeling better than when they came in.
mm,
And not everybody's that lucky to have a career like that.
yeah.
So I've always loved it. I did have self doubt when I decided to start my own business.
Hmm.
Obviously, that was a big leap for me.
Hmm.
But I knew that whatever I didn't know, I can learn. So whether it is I can learn it or I can hire someone that knows it better than me, it will get done. And for me, it was believing in myself that I could figure it out. And I
Mm.
also have more of a fear of missing out than a fear of failing. So
Mhm.
I'd rather put my heart and soul to something and know that at least I tried. So
Mm.
that is what I would remind myself. Listen, if this didn't work out, I tried it. I did my best
Mhm.
whenever those little voices of self doubt came in. I have to say that where the self doubt would come in was mainly when I was listening to other people. So that's
Mm.
what I've learned in my entrepreneur journey is trusting myself and not let others' opinions, judgments, or knowledge they're just not aware of. If
Mhm.
you've never been in this position, you're maybe not the right person to take advice from or listen to for
Yeah.
advice. And those were typically the times I made mistakes
Mhm.
in my business is when I did listen to somebody else that maybe I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I've tuned into trusting my instincts, trusting my gut, and diving deep into education.
Mhm.
I've always had a coach.
Yeah.
I don't. I know I don't know everything, and
Love
I know
that.
I'm capable of learning more.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you talked about that because I think that in for those of you who tune into the podcast, I'm going to say this. the beginner mindset, the word I'll figure it out. And that has been a lot of my motto also. Like, I'll figure it out. I need to just start, get it figured out, and get going, right? And I think that a lot of times that's the one piece that keeps people from getting to the place where they want to go, from starting businesses or getting out of relationships or getting out of jobs that they hate, is because they are stuck in, like, I already invested a lot into this. I already did this. And we talked a lot about the beginner mindset with the digital dojo, which is a few episodes back, and we'll link it in the show notes. But I think that that's really a gift. And by the way, that FOMO, I feel it. I always, I'm an Enneagram 7. Are you an Enneagram 7 too? Do you know your
I
Enneagram?
am, yes.
Okay. See, great minds think alike. And I think that um, I work at using that to my benefit. Now, I do have to touch on this because I think that it's important to put into context. You were married before, and you also adopted children, and you had a lot of things going on in your personal life, but then you worked at succeeding in your professional. Tell me a little bit about what were the hardest parts of navigating your personal life, and did that impact your business or your career, and how did you navigate that?
I have to tell you, I was a single mom for 7 years after
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
divorced my first husband, and that was challenging.
Mhm.
One thing I will say about myself, I always had a hustle, and I went to my clients' homes. I
Mhm.
did home facials. I carried the bed. I carried the products.
Wow.
I brought my wax pot with me.
Mhm.
I also started one of those MLM jewelry
Mhm.
businesses. I did what I needed to do
Right.
to be able to provide for my kids. So I'm not afraid of work and
Mhm.
working hard.
Mhm.
Um, and then I was fortunate enough to find my amazing husband, where I was able, after doing all that hustling, I was able to stay home and raise my two children I had with him.
Mhm.
And it was a wonderful 7 years raising my children, but I did want to work. I did want to do
Mhm.
more than just be a stay-at-home mom. It's an amazing thing, and
Mhm.
I'm so grateful I did it.
Yeah.
So when I started working again, it was automatically in renting my own little space,
Mhm.
and he supported me. I was very fortunate that he was able to support us on his income
Mhm.
and allowed me to pursue my dreams of being an entrepreneur and starting my own business.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I would have never have done that as a single mom on just my own income, but
Mhm.
I had that hustle in me that I knew I can push through and
Mhm.
make this business achieve my goals as
Mhm.
long as I had my husband to back me up, and which he's been amazing supporting our family through all of my crazy dreams and ideas. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's celebrate crazy dream and ideas, and more importantly, the spouses or partners that support that. And, you said earlier that it's very important to not listen to the naysayers, especially if they haven't done what you want to do. And I think that, for so many of us, we're waiting for the validation. We're waiting for someone to say, oh, you should do it. And a lot of times that doesn't come. And a
Right.
lot of times also, not everyone is as fortunate to have a supportive spouse, to have that person is gonna stand by you. For individuals who are listening, right? And maybe they're doing it all on their own. What is the one thing that maybe you used to keep you going in the moments that it seemed like it was a struggle or it was just challenging because you had you yourself and yourself?
In
Yeah.
all the difficult times of being a struggling single mom and feeling alone and desperate, I always knew that there was more for my life.
Mm,
I always knew that God had a plan, And I leaned into that. And my faith is during the most difficult times in my business, believe me, there are times that I'm
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? And is this all going to fall apart and we're going to lose so much money and I'm going to fail?
Mm-hmm.
I leaned into my faith and he gets me through everything.
Yeah.
Faith in my husband.
Yeah, well, that's a winning combination. And I think that faith, I think it for me has definitely been the thing that at the end of the day, right? Even when everything else is kind of sideways, I can definitely rely on that. And it
Yeah.
gives me sort of that stability, right? That I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And, I would imagine that in the early days, when you were starting out your spa, they were many different adventures. And I'd love to hear a little bit of what was it like to start the spa? Because again, I love spas. There's not a spa that I
You
haven't
too.
met that I don't love, right? But what was it like to start a spa? Because there's got to be a lot of moving parts. And in addition to starting a spa, you had 4 kids.
Yes. So it evolved. So
Okay.
it's basically taking one step at a
Hmm.
time and the momentum, and that's what I
Hmm.
have to remind myself as I start this new venture.
Right.
The momentum was just accelerating.
Hmm.
I promoted myself heavily
Hmm.
when I started with one room in a salon and then COVID hit. And at that time, I decided I wanted to expand further, and I went into a different building.
Hmm.
Um, and we grew out of that building. So we moved, it just
Yeah.
evolved and just was growing. Clients were coming in and they were happy. We were receiving really great reviews. And, I started with just myself, and all of a sudden I was just hiring more and more people, and
Hmm.
having the right team behind you is
Hmm.
definitely a game changer,
Yeah.
um,
Agreed.
to support you through the process. But it was just momentum and
Yeah.
people enjoying what we were providing and trying to give the clients the best service that we can. I'm very focused on making them feel safe and heard and seen and
Hmm.
beautiful, and empowering my clients. And I feel that we did a really great job at that.
I think so too. And I think that that's one of the reasons why people trusted you. And, our friend Dawn, who introduced us, right? You met her at the gym, right? And then you
Yes, yes,
grew to have her. And Dawn is a very discerning client. So if she is going
yes,
to
she
trust
is.
someone, she is going to go to the best, right? If I wanted the
Yes.
best, I need to ask. I always ask Dawn for a recommendation. So I know that you probably did a great job at not only what you do, but then surrounding yourself with people that understood your vision, were aligned, and you turned things over to them too. Because I think that as entrepreneurs, that's the hard part, right? We
Yeah.
don't always get ready to turn things over, but that makes a big difference. Um, Now, I have to ask you, and you can say no, and it's okay. We'll move to the next question, but I have to ask you, because it was so good. And, we're a family here at Casa de Confidence. Can you share your story with the waxing that you shared with us in Cape Cod?
Yes. So there's those little stories that makes you realize
Yeah.
that we're going to pivot. Maybe
Right.
this wasn't a good idea.
Right.
So at the beginning, obviously, when you're just starting a business, you'll just take on any client. You're just trying to get people in the door. And I would do everything to just get us our name out
Mhm.
there. And I didn't want to do male Brazilians, but
Male
I gave.
Brazilians, people.
Yes. So if you know what a woman's Brazilian is, it's the same thing on a man.
Hmm.
Um, and I decided to give in and try doing that treatment in our spa, but it was very uncomfortable.
Hmm.
It was not something that I
I
felt
think it takes a
was,
special person to do that, honestly.
yes, it did not align with my
Hmm.
vision for the
Hmm.
spa.
Right.
So basically, also my vision for the spa was more for a safe haven for
Hmm.
women,
Yeah.
and I realized that does not make it a safe haven for women.
Mm.
And I really wanted to embrace women feeling comfortable being at our spa,
Hmm.
empowering them, and
Yeah.
to offer that service. And then having men come in that maybe don't make you feel comfortable is not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best idea. So it was definitely a learning experience. And that's the thing is with business is you're kind of going through the process and
Hmm.
pivoting.
Yeah.
That was an eye opener that this is not for me and
Yeah.
not for my spa.
Yeah. Not for your
It was
spa.
inappropriate, I would say, from that client.
Well, and and I'm so glad that you went exactly one of the points that I wanted to make, right? Because I think that, and especially now, a lot of people are feeling the pull of things tend to not be, the government is shut down. I mean, hopefully it won't be by the time that we air this. There's a lot of individuals who are tightening their belt, right? And whatever industry you're in, you're going to want to make sure that you keep your business going, especially, if you have staff that you got to pay and expenses that you have overhead. But here's the most important thing that I've learned also as a business is you have to know what your values are. You have to keep in mind the vision that you have for what your business, for what you do is. You also have to know who you're servicing. And there's going to be times in which you're going to say yes and take on that client or offer something that maybe is not in your wheelhouse. And not to say that Brazilian is not in your wheelhouse, but for men, right? That's not necessarily what you wanted to create,
Right.
but we lose sight of what we want, who we are, what we're doing, who we're doing it for. And then we get into that scarcity mentality where I need a client, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then it's not an alignment. And I think that that's a really important lesson that you took. But it didn't necessarily, it had you still build a successful spa, you build a successful clientele, you had a team, and you did it because you were true to your passions, you were also true to your vision and your values. So I do think that that's important.
And that is definitely a lesson that I learned in building a business is that you do have to be in line with what your vision is. You
Hmm.
have to plan who am I
Yeah.
serving? Who do I want to serve? Who are the people? What do you want to serve? You have to be clear on that. You
Hmm.
can't be for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one, and honing in on who your people are
Hmm.
is important. And I do believe that my spa has led me to learn so much to, you know, move into this new venture in my
Hmm.
life.
Yes, absolutely. And eventually you sold the spa and you started Purabella. And that's a big leap. What made you decide to start fresh again?
I had this passion for skincare, like I said,
Hmm.
and creating my own products was always in the back of my mind, but I
Hmm.
didn't really know how to do that. I wouldn't have had the skills to even go into this kind of venture because it's a whole different ball
Yeah.
game if I didn't start the spa first.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I've learned a lot about business and skincare in general and people and who I want to serve through the spa. Talking to so many thousands of women in my 32 years as an esthetician has really taught me what women want, what they're looking for. And I felt passionate that this was the time. This is something I really want to do. I want to create something specifically for the clients that I've been serving
Hmm.
all these years,
Hmm.
from my knowledge and be able to speak my philosophy to more people than just within my spa
Hmm.
walls and one woman, one treatment room at a time, and be able to reach more women and really help them feel empowered that we're not trying to erase age and
Hmm.
reverse age. And there's been so many women that came into my treatment room that just felt bad about themselves, bad about their
Hmm.
skin, bad that they're aging and not feeling confident. And that was something I even felt when I started as an esthetician at
Yeah.
19 years old, is that I always said, I'm going to age gracefully. I always
Hmm.
said that. I'm not going to I have nothing against plastic surgery at all.
Hmm.
But I felt that aging is a natural process, and I'm going to do the best to keep my skin healthy. And obviously I want it to look good and youthful, but you can do that by feeding it the correct nutrients, using the correct products, knowing how to care for your skin without trying to erase the years and look
Hmm.
like something that we're not.
Yeah.
And I feel like the beauty industry makes women feel less than
Hmm.
as we get older.
Yeah.
And as a
I agree.
52-year-old woman, I'm proud to say I'm 52,
Yeah.
and I'm wiser, and I'm aging gracefully, just like I said when I was 19. So I stood
Mm,
by that. And
I
now I'm
love
able
that.
to reach more women with creating my own skincare brand.
So I want to unpack a little bit, and again, not just as a podcast host, but as your friend, right? I have to say that I am proud of my 55 years. I'm not afraid to tell people I'm 55. I always have prided myself in owning because I want to age gracefully, like you talk about. But one of the things, and I remember the first time, Cathi, it was right when I turned 30. And I'll never forget for the first time I saw myself in the mirror and I thought, oh, I'm getting lines. And I remember just thinking, no way, Jose, I'm going to fight this. And even though I want to embrace my age and I want to be proud of it, right? I started to all feel that like tinge, like, let's fight this. And then again, I think it might have been, I was in my late 30s. I started to see like a line right here, and not an 11, but I think it's like a line here. And I thought, oh my God. And that's when I upped my game in my products, right? And at that time in my late 30s, early 40s, I was, in this career that I could afford it all, right? And then of course, time evolves and I want to say that I'm not fighting getting older, but at times, when I look in the mirror, I look at the things and I go to the flaws. I'm starting to see a second line here, and it's freaking me out. What would you tell me? How do I embrace getting older gracefully without, freaking out, but also nourishing my skin? And I'm very big about moisturizing and washing and taking care of your skin. But uh, tell me more. What do you think of what I'm saying here?
So in the treatment room, I've had so many discussions with women where they're obsessing about a certain line or pigmentation, and there's a lot of things we could do in the treatment room, but there is a cap to it if
Hmm.
you're not in the medical field, which we were not. What I would do is educate them on internally, because I am actually a health coach as well. So I would educate them on what you could be feeding
Hmm.
your body in order to nurture your skin as well, to help with slowing down the aging process.
Hmm.
So as far as my approach to skincare is more of a holistic approach. So we want to slow down that process. We do want to do some corrective, but I'm also not about false promises. There's only so much you could do in the treatment room. There's only so much that skincare products can do on its own. So I'm an advocate of do your part for self-care. Self-care is so important, whatever that looks like for you. Making sure you're getting enough water, eating nutritious food, exercising, getting enough sleep, and educating them on the things that helps keep your skin more youthful, but at the same time embracing that and just feeling good about yourself. And the fact that you are coming in and getting a treatment, getting a facial, you are doing the self-care that will help lift up your spirits. Or you're purchasing really good products that will feed your skin what it needs. Taking those steps forward just brings out a natural glow in your skin and helps you feel better about yourself. So it's about doing the things that will help you nurture yourself and not neglecting yourself, because I do feel like mothers, women in general, don't take the time enough for self-care. When you are taking that time and realizing that self-care is not selfish, it's important for you to be able to be the best mother, the best wife, the best coworker,
Yeah.
whatever it is you're doing in life, the best person, you need to take care of yourself first. So just taking those steps of self-care, you're going to see that in your face. You're going to
Yeah.
see that glow. You're going to see the healthiness. Healthy skin is radiant skin. And that is what I try to educate people is take the best care of yourself internally, externally, taking my advice on education. And even now that I'm, a brand owner, I create emails and blogs to educate. I answer all my emails.
Hmm.
So anybody can always reach out with a question on skincare, getting the education on what you need for your specific
Hmm.
skin type and doing your workouts, you're drinking your water. Obviously, sunscreen is very important. And then also recommending skincare treatments in a spa environment. There's things you can do to just make yourself feel and look your best. And that's about embracing our aging, is doing the things to help us feel good about them ourselves inside. So obviously, I'm not doing Botox. I'm not going to be zapping that wrinkle that's bothering you. But if you
Right.
can say, I'm doing the best I can to
Hmm.
feel the best inside and out,
Yeah.
then that's going to put a glow on your skin and help you feel beautiful from the inside out.
I love that answer. And I think that, it's such a good reminder, right? Because most of us think, oh, I need to do this or I need to take that extreme step. And it really is something that for many of us, right, we can do more than just the superficial or the temporary. We can do something to feed our soul, to feed our heart, to feed our spirit, and also nourish our body from the inside out. So that's such a good reminder. This is your beautiful product, Purabella, and this is the Dream Skin Night Cream. And I'm so excited to be able to use it because I didn't want to open the beautiful packaging before the interview. So I can't wait to see it. But you created everything with such meticulous detail, love, and really formulating and creating something that is going to be of not only support, but really give that extra umph, right? As we care for our body, that vessel that we travel through life. Now, your tagline could be, we're not aging, we're aging beautifully. What do you mean? What does that mean to you personally?
It's about embracing who we are and not trying to erase those
Hmm.
laugh lines that we have from years of joyful experiences and embracing who we are today without feeling bad about it.
Mm,
Men, they
yeah,
get their wrinkles, they get their gray hairs. Nobody's telling them they look less attractive.
that's right.
And we shouldn't feel that way either. So
Hmm.
my skincare products that I created are basically antioxidant rich, barrier repair. Healthy skin is beautiful skin. It is
Hmm.
not about not looking your age. It's about
Yeah,
healthy skin.
love
Age is
that.
just a number.
Hmm.
You can be any age and be beautiful.
Hmm.
It does not expire at
Yeah.
40 or 70 or any age. We could be beautiful at every age. And that's how I want women to feel.
Hmm. I love that. And I think that, you can be beautiful at any age. And as we have listeners from all walks of life and, from all ages too, although mainly women in midlife tend to be the most listeners, I want to encourage individuals to really take a page from Kathy's book. You can really define for yourself what is it going to look like. You don't have to listen to people. You can outline your path. You'll find the people that come alongside of you to support you, but then you also tell yourself you're going to figure it out. Um, what is next for you in Purabella as you're getting to this, you're going to market, you're selling the products, they're getting it into people's hands. What's next?
So we're launching one product at a time. We started with the Dream Skin that you have in your hand now, and
Yay!
yes, which is a really awesome night cream. Then we also launched our Serenity Mist, cooling mist. So I actually created that for hot flash relief.
Love
So
that.
we really tailor our products for older women. So you're not only getting hot flash relief, but obviously
Mhm.
toning and feeding your skin with nutrients. We
Nice,
have three
nice.
more products coming out actually this week. We're going to be launching them for pre-orders. And just building the e-commerce brand
Love it.
until we can get them into stores.
And
That's my
we're going
goal
to
for
work at
Purely.
that. I'm so excited. I can't
Yes,
wait
I'm
to
very
tell the whole
excited.
world about this because you're such a. And by the way, I have used Kathy's products before. She's so generous with her stuff, and I saw. Oh my God, so good. We could talk all day about so good, but I want to invite you back if you're willing to come back, Kathy, because I think that this is a conversation that involves multiple layers as far as going to market, and we want to cheer you on as you do that. Will you come back and share how the journey is
Absolutely.
going?
Absolutely. This was so much fun, and I'm very excited to come back and see how things are going with Purely Bella.
Well, you are a purely Bella woman and you embody your brand. You are a giver. You are a person that is going to create not only impact in the faces of people, but in the hearts because your brand stands for more than just that outward beauty. It really comes from the inside out as well. So thank you for being here. I know that you were a bit nervous because we all are when we're doing something new. Maybe this is the first of many.
I hope so. I hope so. This was amazing. I so appreciate the opportunity.
Well, Kathy, tell the listeners where they can find you. Tell us a little bit of where can they order. We're going to have all the information in the show notes, but I want to make sure that you get to say it on air.
Great, thank you. So my website is purelybellabeauty.com. I'm also on social media, and we are actually going to offer anyone listening to this podcast in your own code for
Ooh,
30% off. So you
that's
just
super
punch in,
generous.
I
Yay!
know, CASA 30 into the
Okay,
code, and you will get 30% off.
amazing.
And then, sign on up to get all our new releases of new products rolling out.
Well, I get the emails. I get excited and cheer her on. We're going to have the information in the show notes. 30% is a great offer. It is incredibly generous. So, my friends, go take advantage of it. And more importantly, we all have a phase. Go tell your girlfriend. We all need not only a little bit of shot of confidence, but we need to support each other in becoming that beautiful person inside and out. And you can help your friends with the support of Kathy. And Kathy has such an inspiring story. Make sure that you connect with her on Instagram and the social medias. Cheer her on. Let's come alongside of her and create a movement because this woman has the heart, the joy, and you're going to love getting to know her. So, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. And don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.